right, I am home. I grew up in Alpena, Michigan, and that's where I am today at Lumberjack Meadows Disc Golf Course. Alpena is a bit of a vacation spot now, so lots of people coming through. This course, I'm sure, is frequented by many of those people. So this course, a lot of hyzer shots. Nothing super duper long, usually 250 to 350, somewhere in that range with your hyzers. Some straight at it shots, a little bit varied, but you can see around me here a lot of low scrub brush. So the course is going to be dealing with a lot of that, punching through it, over it, around it, etc. So super excited to play this again. Let's check it out. All right, this is hole 1, 281 feet. It is a par 3. You can see that it is straight ahead of you. The right side has trees all the way around it. The left side, I know it looks like there's a bunch of trees over there too, but on the back side of those first couple of trees, it opens wide up. So you could put a 4-hand hyzer up and around the outside. Okay. Let's check it out. I'm gonna go straight at it with a hex. This is so windy that it's kind of hard to judge what's going to happen here, but let's give this a shot. Turn a little bit. That should be parked. Let's go. Yeah, she was parked. Good start. Okay, hole 2, 208 feet, par 3. It is a shot that turns to the right, or hooks up to the right. You can see we have the fairway here. There's a tree center of this fairway. That's about how deep the basket is. It's off to the right, so you got to get up there, have it stall out, and kind of crash over to the right to get to the basket. Okay, got a pyro. There is some stuff right off the front of the pad here. It's kind of blocking you off a little bit. Should be okay. I know there's a tree over there that I hopefully avoided. Okay. Not sure how well it reads on video here, but this basket is about an extra foot higher than normal. But yeah, I was unobstructed here. I got all the way up here. There we go. Okay, hole 3, 280 feet. It is a par 3. You might be able to see the basket looking straight through here. The basket itself is kind of, there's like an entryway where the trees stop, and then you just kind of have this little notch cut out where the basket sits. You really gotta get in there so that you're not, like, I know it sounds silly to say just don't be in the trees. You just really got to stay clean on this one. Otherwise, you really will be cut off from a pretty good putt, even being pretty close to the basket. So, gotta be careful. All right, this one's a little tough to film because there's a tree right behind here where I would normally move the cart back, but got a resistor. I'm gonna try and pump it in there and let it fade towards the basket. Oh, it hit something and rolled back. We'll see. Okay, so you can see that I kind of hit some brush early here. I'm down here. And you can kind of see what I was talking about, where if you're not inside 25, I know I said 15 back there, but if you're not inside 25 feet, you're gonna get kind of closed off by all the brush around it. So I'm just outside the circle here. Ah, dang it. Oh well. This is also another basket that's about a foot higher than you would normally see. All right, this is hole 4, 302 feet, par 3. As you can see off the pad here, you have a little gap in some trees that are fairly close to the pad. And if you look straight down there, there's looks almost like an apple tree. It's kind of low, little domey, straight ahead. Anyways, I point that out because that's kind of your landmark off the tee to get to where you have to get to, because the basket is literally to the right and just behind that. So if you're above the tree and hyzering in, that's probably the best case scenario. However, if you're pushing in and as long as you get through it, you should be good. Okay, I'm gonna forehand a Tesla. See if I can't pump it up there and get to the right of that tree. It's a little right, but that should be okay. I don't think that was bad at all. Okay, I got pin high, but you don't want to finish too far this way, and that's kind of what I did. So, just behind the tree here. Oh boy, this ought to be fun. Got a gap. It ain't great. Ah, damn. Oh well. Can't get them all, right? Hole 5, 350 feet, par 3. As you can see, we have a tunnel, and the basket itself is on the left side at the end of the tunnel. So if there's one bit of advice I can give you on this hole, don't go in the woods. You can see here that with these trees, it's very, very dense down low, and getting out is not easy. So make sure that you try to keep it as clean as possible, something super straight. If you have to break it off in chunks, just avoid the woods. Avoid the woods. Okay, I'm gonna try Proton Crave. See if I just can't muscle it down there. This wind is doing weird stuff in here. It's really hard to kind of get things right. Turn. Well, that's a maybe. That's a maybe. Let's go check it out. All right, so Crave finished out just a little early. It clipped these branches straight above me here. But being just inside the woods here, there is a bit of an out. So let's see if I can hit it. And that looked pretty good. Just behind the basket. This hole can get out of hand quick, so glad to have that. There we go. All right, hole 6, 342 feet. This is a par 3. This one is a long hyzer shot. You can see we have a tunnel, a short tunnel of trees. You want to have something that's mashing out there and finishing to the left. So wind is going to be a little bit of a factor. It is kind of blowing across today. So we'll just kind of mash something out there and see what we get. Okay. Slightly downhill too, and I know the wind is kind of moving across up there. So we're just gonna mash on something super hard and see if we can't put her under the bucket. I'm gonna use a Neutron Octane. This is one of the really beefy ones. There we go. That looked pretty good. I'm cool with that. Yeah, pin high, 20 out maybe. It's about ideal. Now I will say, like, if it were any windier than this, putts are gonna get a lot nervier. So I wanna put her close. Hole 7, 411 feet. This is in the middle of a fairly open field here, so wind is definitely a factor on these next these few holes that are out here. So got to consider the wind on our shot here, but this is slightly uphill. You can see the basket way up between those two trees. It's kind of guarded in some sparse little weird areas. So if you can get to the sides or get to the straight ahead spot to give yourself an opening, that's choice. Otherwise, you're gonna be throwing around some stuff. Okay, got a Fission Octane. We're just gonna put a mash on this. I know the wind is blowing kind of head cross left to right, so we're gonna see what this does. It's a punch to get there. Okay. Get in the gap, get in the gap, get in the gap. Crap. Oh well, we'll see what we got. Okay, so there's still a little room to get around here. This isn't so bad, but I'm gonna keep the camera back there so you guys can keep an eye on the basket. But a little outside hyzer. I've got an entropy or a bleak, just depending on what I'm feeling here. Feel like go higher and use the bleak. So let's try it. All right, can't be bad. Just a shorty. There we go. Okay, hole 8, 286 feet. It's a par 3. You can see we have a tunnel here. That tunnel, if you see these bushes that are low, the last bushes, it opens up and it closes back off again. So you can see a tree down there that is kind of sparse. It's a pine that is missing. It's kind of naked looking at the top. The basket is to the right of that, just behind the tree that's to the right of that. So you got to go through the tunnel and a baby fade to finish out. So if you flex something, it might be your best play. Okay, we do have some headwind here, which might play into this pretty well because I do need to flex this a little bit. It's got to stay left for a little bit longer, but I've got a resistor. So let's see what we can do. I apologize for filming. This is kind of a tough one to film, or for the way that it's filming. Turning just at the right time. No! Now it may have punched through the other side. We'll see. Okay, so resistor punched through the trees a little bit. I do have a window here. You can see it back here. Yep, pretty good gap. All right, like that. Okay, hole 9, 252 feet. This is a par 3. This is a weird one. I'm gonna move the camera while I'm throwing. So you could see on the sign it did like kind of a zigzag, and that's exactly what this does. It's not terribly far either, so you got to turn something over hard and then it's got to come back. So you're going to be throwing something pretty overstable. You don't want to go over to the left. You really have a little clearing on the right, but not much of one. So you don't have a lot of room for error here. Or you can kind of see where the trees come together here in this little U shape. It might be a W with that tree that's way back there. But if you throw something that's going to have a slight flex to it and then kind of let it come down neutrally, you probably do that because it's kind of straight through this way. But this is a tough one, super tough. Okay, I'm going to throw a Proton Crave on a little bit of a flex. I'm worried about this one coming out, but I'd rather have it come out late than not come out at all. Or I guess rather come out early over here into this stuff. So let's see what we can do. 252. That might be the ticket. Won't really know until we walk around the corner. All right, so I can't remember ever getting a better shot on this hole. This is remarkable, but I parked it. Heck yeah.